Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about my vehicle past, the cars that I've owned, the cars that I've, my learnings within each of those vehicles, and just in general, my automotive history. So, without further ado, but before I get started, I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going fantastically for you, and I hope that you are blessed. So let's get into it. So starting with the first car. My first car was a Fiat Palio, the 2009 model. It had 32,000 kilometers when I got it. A very low mileage car, in my opinion. And that car was the car that I really enjoyed my youth in. It was the car that took me from work, home, clubbing, work, home, clubbing, work, home, clubbing. Not every day, but most of the time. I was still in my early 20s, but the best memories that I have is that literally just spending a lot of time with friends, traveling to and from events, and it was, as they say, the time of your life, the good times, as they say. But within that, there were some learnings. The learnings that I got from the vehicle is that learning how to actually keep a car within its limits and within my limits. I spun the car once. I got into an accident once. Those were two separate incidents. But overall, it was just a car that was quite reliable until it wasn't, because that's why I ended up selling it. I sold it because the temperature, or rather the vehicle, would overheat. And it wasn't going to be my problem, so I let it be somebody else's problem. Moving on to my second car. My second car was a Audi A3. It was the hatchback. It was a 2009 model. It was a 2006 model. As a 2006 model, it was the variant that was the Ambition. That car had, in my simple terms, or in my simple mind at the time, had the most power in the world. That car was it was the first car that I had that was above 100 kilowatts. And literally, it was drop dead gorgeous, had the sunroof, had the mag wheels. It had these Audi mag wheels that looked like BBS tires, but BBS wheels, sorry. But it was just fantastic to have. Like, it was just everywhere I went, people would look at it, and I had countless offers to purchase for that vehicle. But overall, it was just a car that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was the first car that I drove to Cape Town. And within my learnings of that car, it was the first car that I had a head-on collision with. Not my fault. Absolutely not my fault. The guy that I was involved in an accident with actually fell asleep at the wheel and had been drinking. And fortunately for me, my car survived. It had quite some damage, 110,000 rands worth of damage at the time. Took it according to a certified panel beater. Ended up fixing it for about 45,000. And got it back onto the road, and then thereafter it got into a second accident where I was rear-ended, and that's when I had to let it go. But overall, my learnings within that car was that it was like the finer things. The finer things will protect you, because that car actually, in simpler terms, most likely saved me from a lot of injury with that head-on collision. So that was a good learning to learn from it. And moving on to my third car, the one that they call the Slahla. It was an Audi A3 1.8 TFSI. It was the cabriolet variant of it. That was the 2011 model. Oh, that car was, for lack of a better term, but I don't want to be rude because maybe kids might be watching. So it was a a car that dropped things. But let's keep it PG. It was a car that literally took me all over the place as well. Having a cabriolet taught me that you don't put down the top in the middle of summer during the day. There were a couple of days where I burnt my butt off because I thought I was being smug and I was sitting in traffic and I put the roof down and just to look cool, when you're feeling your vibes, you're feeling yourself and life is good. And I was just like, oh my word. But that car, no accidents the entire time I had it. It was fantastic. And I think my learnings from that car was literally just appreciating just having a good car, because no issues from day one, no like nothing. Everything worked, the sound was amazing, because it was a cabriolet. So a lot of the time, if you ever saw me, and those of you that might say, yeah, maybe I saw that guy in a gray Audi A3, light gray Audi A3, with the top down. This was about 2015 to about 2018. And yeah, maybe you saw me, maybe you didn't, I don't know. But literally, the music would always be blaring and life was good. That car was, it was phenomenal. When I got, not when I got rid of it, when I sadly had to let it go, it was because Audi had a known issue. The only issue that ever happened with that car was that it burnt oil. So every time I'd fill up, it would go through. I'd then have to top up oil as well. So I think they called it a O-ring issue. So basically, oil was just burning, and it was just a situation that, I couldn't be in a situation where I was gonna lose money, because to fix that issue was probably an entire engine overhaul. So I was just like, nope, not gonna be my problem, time to sell it. Moving on to my next car, which was the 2015 Ford Ranger Wildtrak, the 3.2 TDI. And that was my kanda. Oh, I love that car. That was my kanda. Little did I know at the time, because I got it at a really good price, but I bought it from a reputable dealership. Little did I know at the time the car had been in an accident, and that's why I ended up taking it back. But I had it for a good period of about 6 months. Really enjoyed it. Went off-roading in it. It was a 4x4 variant. And it had the aftermarket rims. Oh man, I'm still gonna get another one, because that just wasn't enough. That just wasn't enough time to spend with that car. It literally had everything that you need in a car. It had the comfort, luxury, it had the height, it had the stance, it had literally everything. It was, of all the cars that I probably have owned, it's probably the one that I still fond after the most. But again, learnings. The learnings of that car was buying a car from a reputable dealership. When I say the car had been in an accident, it was actually quite badly damaged. They covered it up very well, if I may say so myself. That's why I bought it from a reputable dealership, because they didn't even pick it up. It was picked up by a Ford dealership. So after one of my 4x4ing excursions, the car did get stuck on a hill, and only the back wheels were spinning or were rotating, and I put it into 4-wheel drive mode. That's when I knew that something was wrong with the vehicle. I took it into Ford because it was still under the warranty. And the guys at Ford said to me that, nope, as much as we can see where the issue is, it's a situation that please note that the vehicle has been in an accident. I took it back to the dealership that I bought it from. They were quite hesitant at first to actually exchange the vehicle for a like for like, because they sold it to me at a lower price, meaning that they knew that they actually that the car had been in an accident. They were willing to actually fix the car completely, but I was just like, I'm over it. I'd rather get another vehicle. Moving on to my next vehicle, that was the BMW 328i 2013 model, and that was an M Sport. Ooh man, 180 kilowatts, and you are gone. You are gone in that car. Literally, you are gone. Every time I drove that car, it was just joy and pleasure. Had the sunroof, had literally just an amazing car. The comfort again, comfort aspect, amazing. I lack it on one thing. It was the infotainment, because the infotainment I couldn't connect with Bluetooth to the infotainment, via Bluetooth to the infotainment. And as amazing as it was, as they say, the other side of the coin is having the responsibility, because with more power comes more responsibility. So with that's my learning for the BMW, because as much power as it had, you had to just take it easy. Everywhere you went, it was, I wouldn't say I put down my foot halfway all the way down. Even though I've got a heavy foot, literally most of the time I drove on about 60% gas, like literally 60%, and that's city driving. Then of course on the open road it's a lot more drawn back to about 40%. But it was just a car that was well put together, well refined. The comfort, the ride, and also with the M Sport mode, the moment you put it in M Sport mode, it just turned into a little bit of, not even a little bit, it turned into an animal. I took it onto a track day. Also there, I learned quite a lot about the car, and I do always advise that people do track days. I took it to a track day at Kyalami. I think at the time we paid something like $200-300, and you pretty much got a good. I might be wrong about the price. It was quite a while ago, but it was just a situation that you had the open track and you were on the track with a couple of other people, and you got to floor your car when it was your turn. I think I went round probably 3-4 times, and I went off at one corner, and it was just a nice day to actually experience my car on the track and open it up, and not have the limits of the governed road, if I can put it that way. But it's something that I'll always advise for people to do. If you ever have a chance, take your car to a track, whether it's got power, it doesn't have power, it's got lots of power, doesn't matter. Just take it out and just understand your car, because that gives you insight on how far you can push it. Again, another learning. Then moving on to my final car. So I sold the BMW for a 2018 VW Polo 1-liter TSI. It is bright white in color. The car is the comfort line variant. So basically what that means is you do get all the creature comforts, such as the daytime driving lights, you get cruise control. It is a manual. My car is a manual, but you literally have quite an exceptional package. So I've driven that car twice to Cape Town and once to Joburg, but the car is literally amazing on the open road. You don't fret about much. The only thing that I think may be a little bit of an inhibitance is maybe it's a little bit I wouldn't say it lacks power, but it doesn't have that oomph. After coming from a BMW, you expect to have an oomph in all cars that you drive, but it is what it is. It's a fuel saver for me. And I really enjoy driving that car on long distances. As much as it doesn't have the oomph of the power of the BMW, it sure has enough power to do overtakes when you need it to. And on the open road, it really feels solid. City driving, that car is also quite fantastic. It allows you for the most part, it allows you to save and have all the creature comforts. So my learnings within the VW Polo is that sometimes the plain is actually worth it, because not shining and not having the most fancy or not having the best in class is not always a bad thing, because having a reliable car, having a car that is actually quite comfortable, and having a car that saves you on fuel, especially in Cyril's economy. Guys, Cyril's economy is crazy. But anyways, yeah, my VW Polos taught me that you just need to take it easy. Take it easy. Life will meet you where it meets you. Just be comfortable within your own skin and be happy. Because that's essentially where I'm at. I've enjoyed every car that I've had. And I don't have a car that I can say, you know what, that was just an absolute nonsense car. I think I may be one of the few people that are blessed to say, you know what, I've never had a bad, like a terrible car. I've had situations that I've been put in, sometimes of my own doing, sometimes not of my own doing, where I've been like, you know what, maybe I should have just never done that, but it's never been, maybe I should have never bought this car. So I think I'm blessed in that right. And with that, I also just want to say that is my car history. I look forward to adding a lot more vehicles to it, and I look forward to sharing all the vehicles that I test drive. And that's it for today. I hope you have an amazing day further. Hope you have an amazing life. Till next time.